Week 13's in the books. Week 14, Thursday night. We've got Cowboys and Bears. Listen to it live on 97.3 ESPN. We're going to get into who's in and who's out in just a second. But before that, reminder, Chris Carlin moved to 4:30 today. Dave Weinberg tonight, football at 4, Pete Thompson. So we're jam-packed later on in the show. But it's time to do our who's in and who's out. We'll tell you the 12 teams in the NFL playoffs. We think these are the 12 teams that each one of us believe will be in the NFL playoffs after 13 weeks of resume. You have a 13-week resume present to us. Gentlemen, this is going to be interesting because we only got 4 weeks left to do this. Hard to believe, huh, Harry?
Yeah.
Crazy. Hard to believe, Harry. All right, let's get into who's in, who's out. For Week 13 in the AFC East, this one's actually for the first time a conversation. You got New England 10-2. Bills have won 3 in a row. They play each other coming up. New England has struggled against good teams. They struggled to beat Buffalo the first time. Has Buffalo gotten good enough that they can knock off the Patriots and win the East? Anybody?
Man, it is super close. The Bills have the Ravens, Steelers, Patriots, and Jets. Patriots have Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Dolphins. Bills at 9-3, Patriots 10-2. I got to stick with the Patriots. They have the game advantage right now. They're going to win against the Bengals. They're going to win against the Dolphins, you would assume.
Don't assume that.
You can't assume it. You can't assume it.
Thanks, Doug Peterson.
Buffalo's got a real tough one this week with Baltimore.
Yeah.
But, hey, Bills have a pretty good defense. Maybe they figure out a way to slow them down. I don't think so. So I'm sticking with the Patriots.
So I strongly gave it a look for the first time, like Ryan did. I'm like, should I consider? Because the Patriots, they definitely don't look good against good teams.
Nope.
Their offense, we're talking about the offense here. Their offense is legit bad.
Oh, it's abysmal. I mean, you got Brady trying to, like literally convince his receivers that they can play. Maybe we need to see more out of Carson Wentz. Like, run your route, brother.
He's looked miserable at the podium all year.
Yeah, he really
Win
has.
or loss.
But then I was going to actually make the change, and then I thought, you're a moron. You don't. These are the Patriots, and those are the Bills. You're going to look like an idiot 2 weeks later. So I kept the Patriots.
I got the Patriots as well, but I'll tell you what. I'm not as 100% sure about it as it seemed like in the history of this segment. Yeah. Where it's like Patriots. I don't know that anyone's picked against them ever. Nope. I think Buffalo legit can win this division now.
They can.
Yep. I'm not ready to go there just yet.
Yeah.
The North, Baltimore seemingly has this thing wrapped up. They are 3 games up on Pittsburgh. Anybody going any other way?
Nope.
No.
Baltimore Ravens for me.
All right, Tennessee for me in the South.
Ooh.
I like the Titans. They've won 3 in a row. They've won on the road. It's all with the quarterback change. They started to play much better. That offense has changed. They're able to take shots down the field with Tannehill. I like what he's brought. I advocated for him to start the year as the starting quarterback, and he has really made a big difference. They have won 5 out of 6, and they've got an interesting schedule. They play the Texans twice. So it's going to come down to those two. They got the Raiders this week, and they got the Saints in there as well. That's not an easy one. But I think right now, the way they're playing, I'm going to go Tennessee over Houston.
Tennessee's been playing really well. I like Tannehill. That's a great story down there. The Texans, though, that win is very impressive. They're also 5-1 at home on the season. They have 2 more at home. That should get them to at least 10 from where I'm looking. So I think Tennessee a little bit too late. Texans take it.
I like Houston as well. I've had them there all year. I gotta say, I probably gave more consideration to the Bills over the Patriots than I did for the Titans over the Texans, because I feel like the Titans are doing that thing where the new guy takes over and it looks good for 3 or 4 weeks and then they regress back to the mean. Mike, you mentioned their schedule. They have to play the Texans twice, and they've got a game against the Saints in there. Even the 4th game is a little bit difficult, if I'm not mistaken. So it might be a Division I against Jacksonville. I just don't believe in them. I love the defense. Don't love the offense. Don't think they're going to win division.
The West, Kansas City or Oakland. Obviously, they played each other this week, and it was not a fair fight.
No. This is Kansas City's division. Although Oakland made it close for a little bit, guys. Losers of 2 straight. Kansas City's going to take the West.
I would like to take this moment to say that 2 weeks ago I predicted the Raiders would lose to the Jets and start their collapse, and so far they have.
You were right.
So I continue to have the Kansas City Chiefs.
It makes me feel warm and fuzzy that happened.
It does. I actually feel good about that. And never mind the fact that I thought the Falcons were going to win the NFC South NFC South a long time ago.
Yep, Kansas City in
Kansas
the
City
West.
for me.
All right, 2 wild card teams. This should be interesting. We've got Oakland in play. We got the loser of the South in play. We got Indianapolis in play. We got Pittsburgh in play. Got Buffalo in play. If you want to put Cleveland in play, they're kind of hanging around.
I got the Bills. They're playing great. They're going to get in. We just talked about them, pressing for the division with the Patriots. So Bills are one team, and I have the Steelers getting in as the other team. Mike Tomlin's going to be coach of the year, I think, and they're going to do enough to get in.
I think Ryan has been looking at my homework because I also have the Bills and the Steelers. Now, the Bills probably just have to win one more game to lock up a wild card. So
that would get them to 10.
10 would do it, and I think that they've got at least one kind of clearly winnable game left on the schedule. I forget. I remember looking at it and thinking that they should be
Buffalo
Jets.
plays the Jets.
Oh, there you go.
Well, they play the Jets, and they don't have another winnable game.
No.
I mean, they got the Ravens, Steelers on the road, and New England on the road.
Yeah, I feel like they're at least going to win that one to get to 10. So I got them in there. And look, it's hard to give anybody right now the benefit of the doubt, whether it's the Colts, the Steelers, or the Raiders. There's not a lot of ground to stand on other than the Steelers have Mike Tomlin. They're usually in the postseason, and they have a great defense. So I get with them.
I've got Buffalo, and I'm going Houston because I got Tennessee winning the South, which means I think Houston's still going to get in, and I'm going to go – I think the loser of that South is getting in. How about Indianapolis is falling apart?
Yeah. Literally, right? They're all breaking down at the seams.
They're injuries. It's fun. I wonder if they're questioning how bad Reich is out there.
He took the injury bug out to Indy.
Right?
Jeez.
Yep. So there you go. That's who's in for us in the South. In the AFC. Let's go over the NFC. And, all right, we got Dallas, Philadelphia. 6-6, 5-7. Down the stretch they come. Combined, they've lost 5 in a row.
It's a great division.
Yes, this is elite of elite talking divisions. I got to go Dallas. Sorry, people. I've had them for a couple weeks now after that loss in Miami. I need to see some consistency just on offense, on defense. You don't know what this team is right now. So Dallas 6-6. I give them the edge to take the division.
Yeah, I had the Eagles at the start of the year. I put Dallas in when Dallas won that game head-to-head. I've been looking for a reason to knock them out since, and Dallas has given me plenty, but the Eagles haven't given me the reason to put them back.
And I got Philly. I've had them the last couple of weeks. I don't see Dallas really going any better than 2-2 down the stretch. I think if Philly goes 3-1, that should be enough to get it done. They would, if they go 3-1, Dallas goes 2-2, Philly would get in. And I'm kind of leaning towards Philly winning the 3 games, losing to Dallas head-to-head. Although Dallas, if they finish tied, and Dallas would beat them twice head-to-head. So Philly's got correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
They got to win that Dallas game unless Dallas completely collapses.
Which
you never know.
Surprise me.
Yeah, which could happen.
It's funny, they're playing the
Definitely
Bears, and we kind of laugh at the Bears. The Bears are 6-6, and so is Dallas.
Yeah, the Bears, we look at them as a mess. They're 500.
They've won 2 in a row. Dallas has lost 2 straight. So I've gotten to the point where I just don't believe in Dallas anymore. Like, I was higher on Dallas, and all of us.
You were.
I don't believe in them anymore. So we'll see. The East is going to be very interesting down the stretch. All right, in the North, you got Green Bay and Minnesota. Mano-a-mano. We saw Minnesota last night. Kirk Cousins 0-8 on Monday Night Football. I told you to bet the other way. I'm sorry.
Impressive.
I took a risk. I might take another one tonight.
Take a risk.
Who starts this one off? Is it me?
I'll start it off.
You go.
I'll start it off. So this is also the other really good division, the AFC East and the NFC North. This is going to come down to the wire. Packers, I think they're going to get 3 more wins, and I think the Vikings are also going to get 3 more wins. So that gives the Packers the edge at 12-4. I've had the Packers all year long. I'm going to stick with them.
I think it's going to come down to that Packers-Vikings game, Week 16, and I think that the Vikings are going to win. I have the Vikings winning the division.
All right,
as I've had all year.
I've got the Vikings as well, and I looked at their 2 schedules down the stretch. I think Minnesota has a little bit of an edge here. They've got the Lions, the Chargers. They do play the Packers head-to-head, and they got the Bears. Where on the flip side, Green Bay schedule down the stretch. They got
Redskins,
Bears, Vikings, Lions.
And the Bears are tough for them. That's a tough matchup for them. They barely beat them in the season opener. Yeah.
I think the Bears, are one of those teams late you don't want to end up playing.
Yeah.
Because their defense is still pretty decent.
Yep.
So I like Minnesota over Green Bay there. All right, in the South, we already got a champion. The Saints are in. They are in. They clinched on Thanksgiving Day. And then the West, we got two teams at 10-2. The Rams at 7-5, kind of hanging around.
I got the Seahawks. I've also had them all year long. I said they were going to steal it late from the Niners, and it looks like that's exactly what they're about to do. So I'm going Russ and Seattle to take it.
All right, I started off the year with Seattle. I moved into the Niners when they started like 8 or 9-0 finally. I'm not going to change it. So I'm going to I'm going to let the competition decide there. I actually think the 49ers are slightly better, although you can never put anything past Russ. So we'll see what happens when they meet up again. I know the 49ers lost that first game to them.
They did, but the second game is the final game of the year, so it really could come down to that one. I have 49ers as well. Seattle plays at the Rams, at the Panthers, who just fired their coach. They play the Cardinals and the 49ers to close out the year. Not the most daunting, but, still, I think both teams are going to get there with 2 losses. I think you're going to end up seeing them match up. 49ers, by the way, play at the Saints this week after playing at the Ravens last week.
Yeah.
They played the Packers the week before that. So they've had a
rough.
stretch here. And then they play the Falcons, Rams, and the Seahawks. So tough schedule for
Might be doing the
San Francisco.
flip-flop next week instead of letting that competition decide.
Yeah.
All right, wild cards. This one seems to be pretty easy.
Yeah. Vikings and Niners.
Right.
Yep.
And you went Vikings, Niners, and I went Green Bay, Seattle.
Yeah.
And I went Green Bay, Seattle as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's our who's in, who's out for week 13. It's interesting because I guess the Rams are 7-5. No one giving them – they're only a game behind Minnesota now.
I didn't even pick them to make the playoffs at the beginning of the year.
Let's see what the Rams have left. They've got the Seahawks, the Cowboys, the 49ers, and the Cardinals.
Now, that Seahawks game is the Sunday night game this week?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And remember,
should
the
be a fun
Bills-Steeler game got flexed.
Did. Okay.
Next Sunday night, it's going to be Bills-Steelers.
Who got kicked out? I'm
I'll
always
tell you
curious.
in 1 second.
Eagles.
No.
Minnesota and Los Angeles Chargers.
Makes sense. No one wants to see any more Rivers.
Yeah.
No more
Trying to-
primetime.
Well, by that point, it might be like Tyrod Taylor starting for,
Yeah.
for the Chargers. So
I think the South is very interesting with the Texans, Titans, and the Cardinals. The Colts are still kind of there. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I had the Jaguars making that run because they were getting Foles back. Since then, Foles has been benched,